Hello, Wonderhussy here. Still trying to unpack and get settled at my Death Valley compound, and I'm going nuts. Moving from Las Vegas out here to my Death Valley compound has taken all my waking time for the past 2 months, and that means I haven't had any time for any outdoor adventures. And it's really starting to impact my enjoyment of life. So today I'm taking a break from unpacking. I need to shoot some new videos for my channel anyway. And because I don't have time for an overnight trip anywhere exotic, I'm just headed out into my own backyard. Death Valley. I scouted some locations within an hour or so's drive of my house here, and today we're heading into one of the most desolate and remote parts of Death Valley, way down in the far southern part of the park. Okay, we're here. 45 short minutes later, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. And you can see what I'm talking about when I say the middle of nowhere. At the old Ashford Mill ruins. Okay, I feel confident saying the name of where I'm going here because this place is marked on all the Death Valley Park maps. It's the ruins of an old mill. Sign says here, in 1914, gold ore from the Golden Treasure Mine, 5 miles to the east, was processed here for shipment to a smelter. Legend has it that the Ashford brothers sold the mine for $50,000 to a Hungarian count. Okay, and here's an old black and white picture of what the mill used to look like. But as you can see, there's really not a whole lot left to the old Ashford Mill. So it's really not all that exciting of a place to go check out, even if it is only a 45-minute drive from my house. Even I wouldn't drive 45 minutes to go check out something as pedestrian as these ruins. No, sir. I'm here today to go explore up in the mountains behind the mill, where there's supposed to be a very well-preserved ghost town. The ghost town we're heading to was the Ashford Mine Camp, which is where they mined the ore that was processed down at the Ashford Mill. And because it's in such a remote part of Death Valley, and because it's a pretty strenuous hike to get there, this ghost town doesn't see very many visitors, which is part of why it's supposed to be so well preserved. Okay, we've driven as far as you can legally drive to this ghost town. Now, back in the day when the mine was operational, there was a road that went all the way up to the mine camp. But, well, there's been flash floods and stuff in the intervening years, and there's one of them there wilderness boundary markers, which means you're not allowed to off-road all the way up to this mine, and I am a conscientious off-roader, so I'm going to obey the sign, park my car right here, and just go up the old-fashioned way on foot. And I'm doing this hike today with a friend of mine named Rick for safety, because this happens to be, like I said, a very desolate, remote part of Death Valley where a couple got stranded last spring, I think, not that long ago. It's a long story, but the guy ended up actually dying. It was a terrible story. And it was right in this part of Death Valley. It's a real rugged, remote section, and well, you know, I just thought for once in my life I'll be safe and have a buddy come along with me. And plus, he's just a really cool buddy. He just helped my sister and I move our piano yesterday, okay? And if you've ever moved a piano, well, you know, you know what all's involved with that. So thanks, Rick. We appreciate you. Oh, wow, look, bighorn sheep grazing peacefully on this extremely appetizing looking dry desert brush. Hi, feathers. Whew. Okay, hiking along up this old road, which really doesn't look very much like a road. at all anymore. But we're on the right track. You can see the car parked way back down there in the distance, and essentially you're just kind of following the old road, which sort of parallels and periodically crosses this wash. So even though the road has totally deteriorated here, I think we're going the right way. Oh, we are going the right way because look, a cairn. A big old stack of rocks that people pile up to indicate that you are on the correct trail. And it was starting to get kind of confusing because you can see the car down there at the base of this wash. And you know, we've been sort of paralleling the wash, following the directions from the blog. But up here it kind of looked like, well, wait a minute, is that the old road grade on that side? Or are we on the right side? And this cairn confirmed that we are on the right side. Wow, you can really see how this road got washed out from all these gnarly flash floods that must have happened over the years. You know what I mean? Like, this is a wash we're hiking up, and look at the size of these rocks in the wash. To think that water could carry these down here. Yikes. Oh, wow, look. I found gold. Probably fool's gold, but hey, I'm a fool. I see it! There it is! The only downside is we are way, way, way off the trail, and I lost my microphone. So if the audio sucks, I'm sorry. I'll try to be brief. I looked all over for the microphone, but we're scrambling up these rocky washes, and well, it fell off somewhere, and it's gray, so it blends right into the desert. And I did hike around for a while looking for it, and I couldn't find it. Anyway, we're gonna try to see if we can figure out a safe way to get to this mining camp. Oh, another rock pile. I can't imagine that this is indicating any kind of a trail because, boy, I can almost guarantee we are not on a trail. But the mine camp is right there. So I'm hoping if I just follow this gully, it'll lead me down to the wash, and that'll take me to the mine camp. Ugh, that was a gnarly gully to descend. But now I've finally made it to the wash that I was supposed to be hiking up all this time. And well, you can clearly see the remains of an old road. So that was a pretty gnarly detour we just took. And it cost me my microphone. But all's well that ends well. We still have plenty of daylight, and the road back should be a lot easier since we can take the right path this time. Whew. Okay, I think we're almost there. The last little stretch of this hike. You might be able to make out the very, very faint traces of a trail zigzagging up this hillside. Well, according to my research on Google Maps, this zigzags and zigzags and zagzags all the way up to the ghost town. We can do it. Oh, I think I see a little roof peeking over that little saddle there. Woohoo! We made it! Good job, everyone. Okay, so there's a few buildings to explore here, and a mine at it. And well, like they said online, it really is pretty well preserved. And boy, after that hike to get here, I can understand why. You have to be half insane and have not even brass balls, but concrete balls to get up here, okay? And before I even do any exploring of these buildings or this mine camp, first thing I gotta talk about is a safety warning. If you're watching this video and you want to hike up to this mine camp, be really, really careful and really do your research, okay? This trail is super hard to stay on. It's super hard to see. This is very rugged, remote territory. There's no cell signal. Blah, blah, blah. All the standard desert hiking advisories apply. This was a gnarly hike. I mean, it took me 2.5 hours to get up here. Okay, to go 2.1 miles, 2.5 hours. It's a slow pace. Anyway, here we are. Let's take a look around. Okay, so what we have here is there's one kind of big building with a refrigerator, it looks like, in it. And then there's a couple more buildings over there. There's that mine at it tucked behind this building. And then it looks like there might be some more stuff over there. So we'll check out as much as time permits. And while we're poking around, let me just tell you a little bit about the history of this place. I mean, like the sign said down there, the Ashford brothers started prospecting around this area back around 1905 or 1907. Oh my goodness, look at how cool this is. Sorry, I got distracted from my history. Okay, I better just tell you the history before we start poking around because I'll get distracted. They started prospecting up here, but the property was owned by a different gold mining company. But I guess they had sort of abandoned it, so the Ashford brothers eventually got legal possession of it, and they ended up selling it to, well, according to that sign, that Hungarian count, and then he sold it to those other guys. And it was mined on and off until the 1950s, I think, like, well, 1950, 51. So not that long ago, you know, 70 years ago, people were living here. Which I guess explains all these modern appliances, like this lovely blue bonnet stove. It looks like somebody just left it yesterday, right in the middle of cooking a big pot of stew. Nice gas stove. And then look at the beautiful Cervell refrigerator. Love that font. And I love this, I don't know what you call it, emblem, motif. Look how cool the paint is, the way it cracked over the years, that turquoise. Beautiful. Oh, look, gas refrigerator. And what a handle on it, oh my God. Anything in the fridge? Oh my goodness, yes there is. There's a logbook, there's some water, some ice cube trays that are full of broken glass, yikes. Oh, I see, it's this stuff. Oh no, there's this beautiful glass, I guess, freezer door, and it broke. Oh, bummer. Uh-oh, we're gonna have to look in that logbook for sure. But first, let's continue to look around this cabin. Might be something in here. Oh no, but it's surprisingly clean. Maybe those miners didn't do much cooking, you know? I can't imagine that they would. A few rat poops in there. But overall, it's pretty tidy in here. I don't know that I'd want to stay the night in here, but, well, in a storm or in a pinch, you could. Then next to the door we came in, there's this really cool kind of sideboard with these really rusted old metal bowls. Look at that, old wash pans, or Lord knows what they use those for. Anything in the drawers? What if there was like a giant rattlesnake in there? Yikes. Better be careful opening them drawers. I mean, isn't that what your mom used to tell you? Oh, little bits and pieces, like it's a really old lock. Look at that. Can even see the mechanism inside. I guess maybe that was on the front door. When there was a door. Oh, these look like those Prince Albert snuff cans, maybe. A few of those. Yeah, I bet those miners had their share of snuff. Oh, look what a pretty little plate this was. Little checkers on the side. And then on the other side of the door, another little stove. Also empty and also clean. And then here's the sink. Double basins, that's nice. Some broken pottery. Look at this beautiful china plate. Some miner ate off of these wheat stalks on it. Oh wow, and there was even a little fancy teacup. Oh, some miner sat there and drank his coffee out of this teacup on this saucer. Just like that. Or something like that. And then this, well, I was gonna guess this was their telephone, like a tin can and a string, but I think they're unrelated pieces of garbage. Wow, and then look, here's a Formica bench from something. Oh, maybe that's the leaf, the center leaf. This table expanded so that you could sit, oh gosh, 6, 8 miners for a hearty miner's breakfast. What do you suppose this was? Gosh, no telling what. Oh, look, it's hinged. This thing moves. Anybody? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Sold to whoever posted the correct answer in the comments first. One ringy dingy? Just kidding, I'm not selling this to anyone. I'm going to leave it right here where I found it so that the next person who braves their way up this canyon can see it and enjoy it too. Okay, now what do you suppose could be in here? Well, first of all, it looks like they did have paper towels hung below. How cute. Let's see. 10 snakes? 3 snakes? No snakes. But look at that. There's like graffiti in here. Somebody came all the way up here to write graffiti. Imagine that. Oh, but wow, look at this shattered old mirror. These really pretty decorative holders that held it up. That's super cool. And there's this old comb. Some miner combed his pompadour looking in this mirror every morning and then had his cup of coffee. Okay, now let's go in the next room. And this looks like it was very clearly the bunkhouse. Oh my goodness, look at this. All their beds lined up. Aww. Looks like a place slept 4 miners, 4 hardworking miners. And then people have sort of piled up stuff they found in the area, I guess. Oh, what's this? Also hinged. And then some really old shoes. Look how curled up this shoe is. Oh, you can almost make out the brand on the bottom. Kinney. Oh my gosh, like Kinney shoe stores. I remember those. Oh dear, now I feel old. If I can remember the same shoe store that sold these. Look, there's even the little shoe polish brush next to the shoes. Somebody took really good care of these things back in the day before they curled up like the Wicked Witch of the West. More like bits and pieces of metal. Cool old neck to a whiskey bottle or something, or jug. Some old Coleman camp fuel. That doesn't look that old. But then again, you know, 1950s, this place was operational until the 50s. That can could be from the 50s. Wow. Uh-oh, there's a mine at it. We might have to poke our nose in there real quick, but first let's look at this stuff laid out on this table. This is all stuff people have found at the site. And instead of stealing it and taking it home and putting it in their yard, they leave it here so that other explorers can enjoy it. And I think that's super cool. And I'm just going to follow along in that proud tradition. Oh, this looks like it was part of a upholstered furniture, like part of an old easy chair or couch or something. You know how the wood is carved there and well, it's clearly got upholstery on it. This must have been a pretty comfy place, I guess. And then as far as mine camps go, it must have been pretty nice because it looks like it was wired for electricity. They could have all their modern conveniences. Okay, so that was that building. And we'll go back down there and sign the logbook before we leave. And we'll go just poke our nose at that mine at it. But first, let's go check out these other 2 buildings here. Make sure we didn't miss anything even cooler. Oh, first thing we see here is a hantavirus advisory. Because we are in Death Valley. They just want you to be aware that anywhere there's rat droppings, there's a risk of contracting the deadly hantavirus. So, ideally you should wear a mask. But oh my gosh, I'm so sick of wearing masks. I'm just going to try not to stir up any dust and breathe too deeply. But this is basically a bedroom. So maybe, I mean, this is like a private bedroom. So this could have been like the mine boss's quarters, maybe. He had a fancier bed with a wooden headboard and real nice bed springs. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Remember that sound? Looks like they had some sunshine biscuits. Look at that. That looks so freaking old. But it probably isn't, you know, it's probably from the 50s. Oh, look at this cool little shelf that was in here. Oh, look at this. Orange juice. We bring to you from California, pure orange juice. I could go for some orange juice right now. I am thirsty. That was some hike. And here's a little coat hanger where the mine boss must have hung his warm winter coat because it gets cold up here in the wintertime, that's for sure. That's why they have that cardboard all tacked to the walls. Insulation. I mean, this cabin here even had a carpet. Look at that. Fancy. Okay, and then you had a neighboring room. This bed has the most unspeakably foul covering on it I've ever seen. Not to be crude, but this looks like, well, it looks like it's made out of Chewbacca's pubic hair. Oh, it's so matted. What is this? I mean, obviously there was a mattress here. You can see the cloth, but it just came apart over the years. And I mean, was this mattress stuffed with this stuff? It's real wiry. I mean, it actually does feel like pubic hair. Oh God, can't believe I'm touching it. Okay, well, moving along from Chewbacca's pubes, let's go out this door. Oh yeah. Oh, and this just takes us into the building next door, which is in pretty rough shape. And you can see it was just another bedroom. I don't have a ton of daylight left. Oh, look. They really don't want you going down in this shaft here. I've actually never seen a hardcore net out of braided steel cable like this. I mean, the BLM, or I guess the Park Service, really isn't messing around here. Because look, that ladder going down is in pretty good shape. So you could climb way down into the ground. if you were so inclined, which I'm not just because I'm out of daylight, but because, well, earlier I said I was a fool, but I'm not that big a fool. Okay, I'm just gonna buzz around up here real quick because like I was just saying, we don't have a ton of daylight left. So I can't really explore as thoroughly as I might like to. I guess realistically, the best way to do this would be to camp at the trailhead, which you can camp there, it looks beautiful. And then get up real early, make sure you know the correct way to go, and then you'd have more time up here to explore around all this busted old mine stuff. I mean, like, look at this. This is a bucket from a, what? Some kind of, well, I was gonna say like a bulldozer, but some kind of mining bucket, ore bucket, I guess. Oh, maybe it was on like an overhead thing. You know, those overhead cables that, I don't see where they would have had one of those though. Okay, where was that other adit? I feel like I saw it from in here. Yeah, here it is. Oh gosh, yikes. Look at the door, oh my goodness. Oh, maybe this was just like a, what do you call it, food storage. It's got a screen on the door, it's all fancy. Why would there be a door on a mine adit? Oh my goodness, look at this. Better turn my flashlight on. Squeeze in. There's a shelf where they were obviously storing something. Oh no, an old paper, look. Wanted, executive pilot for Lear Star. Fuel demands up sharply. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Television will be main topic at NCAA meeting. Ron Hill takes outboard race. Oh gosh, look, a spider. Probably a black widow hiding on this old paper. Is it alive? No. There's this big test Thursday. Okay, so there was a big test on Thursday. Ron Hill took the outboard race. They were looking for pilots. Your headquarters for insured savings accounts. Southland Federal Savings on Wilshire Boulevard, Beverly Hills. Golly, I can't imagine any place farther from Beverly Hills than this lonely mining camp. Wow. I hope that wasn't boring for you because I love those old newspapers. Okay, let's see. Oh, look over here. It's a two-way adit. There's the way we came in and there's the way out. So both of those openings I saw lead back here, which is actually a blessing because that means there's not some other mine adit I gotta go poking my nose in and I can get out of here at a reasonable time with plenty of daylight left. Okay, now let's go sign that logbook. Okay, Ashford Canyon Mine Cabins logbook. Placed here in 2013. Let's see when the last people were here. vanmarmot.org. Better living through hiking. Look, October 20th. Well, what's today? The 31st. It's Halloween today. 11 days ago, Sierra, Chris, and Tiny from Redding, California added more treasures to the table. Oh, so they probably went out and found some of that stuff that's up there. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Before them, 2 months before them, August. Somebody hiked up here in August. Hint, don't do this in August. Man, that was rough. Oh, look, some other people from Redding. They must have told these people about it if they're both from Redding. Okay, let me just see. Bakersfield, Exeter, California. Exhaustingly worth it. Is that how you feel?
Exhausted.
Okay, so I kind of just flipped through to see if I recognized anyone's name or there was anything like super funny, but it's just people basically congratulating themselves for making it up here and writing about their experiences. Really nice. Everyone's polite. There's no dick drawings for once, except for this. Somebody tagged in it. Look. I wonder if that's who tagged in that medicine chest. Okay, so I better just go ahead and sign this right now so we can start hiking down. 10/31/21. Wonderhussy. All right, I signed the logbook. Put that right back where I found it, in the fridge, where it belongs, and start hiking back down this gnarly, lonely, desolate, extremely rugged Death Valley Canyon. But oh my gosh, what an amazing hike. What an amazing adventure. And especially, what an amazing adventure for my first adventure living at my Death Valley compound. If this is what all my adventures are going to be like from here on out, well, I feel pretty good about having moved to Death Valley.